Hello everyone. Today's video will be on boss drops. In Meciuvor, we have 4 bosses that actually drop a chest with loot in them. We have Molzan, Ronan, Sheena, and Wedge_2, or Wedge2, whatever way you want to pronounce it. A quick disclaimer, things may be subject to changes and or nerfs, as this specifically applies to Sheena, as she is incomplete as of late. But maybe in the soon future she'll be done, and hopefully no changes goes on, or I've got to make an update on this video. And another thing to note is that the damage that I'm going to show you on the weapons today may not be the same when you receive them, as they scale to our strength modifier rather than showing us their original damage in the beginning. With that in mind, let us begin. Molzan. Although with a very small loot table, he has one important item that we can get from it, that being the Jester Fruit, which allows us to reset both skill points and stat points. The Jester Fruit being used to reset skill points is very uncommon, and even more uncommon now, or even irrelevant now, because the level cap has been raised to 50 to now 80, allowing us to get the full skill tree and then some. But now using it for stat points is where it's at. Usually in late game, people don't like how their stats look like, or they want to make a troll build, either all strength, which actually it's not as much of a troll build, it's kind of useful, or all HP. You don't really see people doing restoration, since you're gonna recover a lot of HP, but at the same time, all that like HP is gonna go nowhere since your maximum HP is a little bit low. So yeah, don't mind that little rabble. Make a balanced build, make an unbalanced build, wherever you want using the Jester Fruit. Now, the ingots, the Wither Steel and Steel ingots, they're good for early to mid game. Provide a lot of good HP and armor buffs to you. The Lifewood Stick, I would not recommend this be used to make a bow. There's no added on effects, nor is its damage good. Now, the Grand Fur, it's good if you want to mix and match with the Steel and Wither Steel ingot, as it's light and it gives you a 10% damage buff per piece. So gambeson chest piece, gambeson leggings, in total you have a 20% damage buff. Not bad at all. Ronan. So Ronan has a very big loot table, so we're gonna try to go through this as quick as we can. First with the bucket hats. So since Molzan doesn't drop the Sunken Steel nor Blood Steel bucket hats, I'm gonna call them hats since I'm more used to it, but know that they're helmets. It's just been added onto Ronan's loot table. And usually the bucket hats dropped from bosses are made of the same material that they drop, that being, in this case, dragon scale and gold. And these cannot be crafted by Bruce or anyone else, only dropped by bosses. So, going on to the materials, the Dragonhide Cloth and Dragon Scale Ingot, excellent materials for speed buffs, regen buffs, second best for regen buffs, and decent or good HP gain in general. When using the Dragon Scale Ingots as weapon materials, it attacks very quickly. Not bad at all. Gold is more of the slower, tankier, and stronger material to use, because when using it for armor, you're slow and heavy, but have a lot of HP and return. With it being used as material for a weapon, it's very slow swinging, but high damage. People compensate for the slow attack speed by adding a multitude of skills on there, and knowing when to kick and such. If you want to be tanky and also a little bit lighter, or not too slow, Fire Thread Cloth is basically the gold of all the other cloths. So if you were to make that and add it onto your gold set, you would be much lighter and you won't lose as much HP, since Fire Thread is very good in the amount of armor count that it gives. Fire Topaz Shards, drops from Ronan, are not useful as of late. They're kind of like gold coins, and that being, they can be sold for 100, and then which is half to 50 when you actually receive it, since Annabelle likes halving every single thing, I don't know why. The Galru stick is excellent material for making the second best bow, which inflicts poison too on hit. Not bad at all. because if you have the poison buff passive on, you do more damage as you hit them over and over. Or you swap to another weapon and deal even more damage. People like to do that sometimes. Although weapon swapping combat is not too commonly seen. Would be cool though, if there was some rework with it. If you like to be really technical in the game, that being using consumables as buffs, Ronan dropping you the Reaver Ale or Fresh Ale is the right thing for you. Although it's not too friendly on your movement, as in, you know, lessens your jump height and movement speed in general, it is excellent in giving damage buffs and damage upgrades, defense upgrades, as there's a reduction in damage taken and, well, obviously more damage right there. Now, the Gecko Slayer as a weapon isn't too good of a weapon. That being, it's like slow and doesn't do as much damage than you would imagine, unfortunately. Although you can carry its heavy, which a lot of the boss weapons tend to have boss weapons, and oh no, I guess the Dark Maw, when you're heavy, you stay still. So realistically, so far, all boss weapons, which is only 2, you can heavy and walk with it. So do a heavy attack, you can run up to your enemy without needing to stand still, like most real heavy weapons. The Fire Topaz, when equipped, every time you were to strike someone with a weapon or with your fist if you want, there's some people who like using fists for some reason, you will apply burn on them after causing a fire explosion. Pretty cool effect to add, and if you were to have fire damage buffs, then you know this is your go-to. Moving on, Sheena, the newest boss, or yeah, the newest boss in the game. Her level is 500 now, but this image was taken when she was buffed up 100 levels beforehand. Well, before the nerf, sorry. So, the new materials that she drops would be the glaive resin stick and the glaive plate ingot. And of course, the bucket hat, made of the same material. The glaive resin stick is an excellent material to make with a bow, as it's just really high damage, and the glaive plate ingot is the best in terms of HP, which outranks gold, HP regeneration, which outranks dragon scale, and it gives another special effect, which is fatigue recovery. So, once you know with your little combo, you could probably kick someone and then be able to do another combo again, as your recovery time is really quick. It's a okay material to use for weapons, as I believe it gives you a speed buff as well, actually, when held, and more fatigue recovery. I forgot a bit, but it's not that bad. It's a little bit like slower than dragon scale, but still quicker than gold. Not a bad choice. I believe my friend mentioned how the durability of the new armor and weapons is a little bit nerfed, but shouldn't be too much of an issue considering how much chests that this boss drops. Now, like Ronan, she drops shards, moonglass shards to be specific, which once again don't have a use yet, but you can sell them as little gold tokens for 150, half to 75 when you actually receive it. She drops a singular set of gauntlets, but 2 sets of leggings and chest pieces. The difference for the leggings I can't really tell that well. Maybe one is darker and one is lighter, but for the chest pieces it's more obvious, that being the shoulder pad or shoulder guard is black in one version and gold in the other version. And they're organized on the list here on the left, from left to right. So DSAL begins on the left, and the Argus BT ends on the right. If you want to know their specific names, I organized them in that way. The Mechanistic Stew is an excellent food choice since it lasted so long, 17 minutes to be exact. And it, although it reduces your damage by a little bit, gives you a major buff in your defense. And for some reason, maybe an increase in summon, not maybe, it increases your summon damage. What the maybe was for was, maybe there might be a summon rework incoming? Hopefully, since I'm a big fan of summons. And it's very sad seeing my golem get like 2-shot by the boss. Moving on to the newest weapon, Caliburn, our very first mythical. Well, real mythical in the game, I guess. Because as I heard before, there was a mythical like stick that the owner admin gave to someone, or like a group of people when they were online, and if you smack someone, you get flung. Yeah, I don't really know about that, but it was a funny story someone told me. But this Caliburn right here, it's a arming sword, which is insane since the length of it is that of a longsword. So it's an arming sword with double the length, high damage, good attack speed, and a heavy that you can carry as well. So you can run with the heavy and just smack someone if they back up a lot. It's really, really good weapon. It's a really good weapon. Moving on to our final boss, the Wedge _ 2. Or Wedge 2. I'll call it Wedge 2 since obviously it's way easier to say than underscore. Like, no need. And it drops 2 items. Nothing Stew, which, if eaten, you'll be one shot, but also you can be flung really, really far, which is kind of funny if you want to like fly across the map. And it drops Air, which is nothing. I don't know what to say about it, it's nothing. So these are all the bosses and their drops in the current game of Meciuvor. I hope you enjoyed, found this video a bit informative. Leave a like and subscribe, and comment anything below if you want to see more, or if you have a suggestion you want me to make a video on. So yeah, have a nice day, evening, afternoon, night.